Hello students, I am Dr. Rashmi Chawla and I will be teaching you Unit 5 of Auditing, that is Recent Trends in Auditing. Basically, the special audit, that is Management Audit, Tax Audit and Cost Audit. Before starting, let us first have an overview of what is audit. It is a systematic examination of books and records of a business or other organization to ascertain or verify or to report the facts regarding financial operations, that is to find out whether the financial statements reveal true and fair view of accounts, that is the balance sheet shows the true financial position and profit and loss account shows the true and fair view of profit and loss for the financial period. So today we will be dealing with basically the cost audit. So let us first understand what is a cost audit. Cost audit means an examination of cost records. It has been defined by the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, London, as the verification of the correctness of cost accounts and of adherence to the cost accounting plan. That means whatever cost accounts we are making, the company is making, the cost auditor generally verifies whether the cost accounts and the cost statements have been made correctly, and there are certain cost accounting standards which we call it CAS. They have to see whether it is adhering and following those cost accounting standards or not. The cost audit has also been elaborated and defined by ICWA. It defines that it is an audit of efficiency of minute details of expenditure while the work is in progress and not a post-mortem examination like the financial audit. Before starting my discussion, I explained the definition of audit. That was basically financial audit. In case of financial audit, what we do, the accounts are already prepared and then the auditor verifies the prepared accounts. So basically, it is a post-mortem examination. While in case of cost audit, we cannot say it is a post-mortem examination. Why? Because in case of cost audit, the work is in progress. Here, then, we also call cost audit as an efficiency audit. Why is it called? Actually, it is evidenced by amendment in section 209, which reads, the object of amendment of section is to ensure specified company proper records relating to utilization of material labor available, which would make efficiency audit, cost audit possible. So we can say cost audit can also be called as efficiency audit. Next, we come to objectives of cost audit. What is the basic objective? Why do companies go for cost audit? So basically, we have divided objectives into two types. One is the general objectives and other is the social objectives. So when we talk about the verification, the general objectives, the first one is the verification of cost accounts. Cost accounts are to be verified in order to ascertain and to find out whether they have been properly maintained according to the principles of costing employed in the industry concerned. As I already told you that there are certain standards which have to be followed while preparing the cost account. Second one is there is similar like in case of every audit, the basic criteria, the basic objective is to detect and to prevent the errors and frauds. So the cost audit objective, general objective is also similar to the other auditors. It is detection and prevention of errors and frauds. The third one is assisting and advising management. Audit also helps in assisting the management to fix the prices of goods and services, to identify wastage in the use of material and time, to review the working of costing system installed by the management, and also plays a very important role in advising management on any other important matter. We come to social objectives. The first social objective describes improving productivity of resources. Cost audit ensures optimum utilization of resources by preventing wastage or misuse of resources. So when there is no wastage, automatically it will lead to improvement in the productivity of resources. Second, protecting the interest of various parties. Cost audit helps in protecting the interest of various parties. Like we can give the example of government. It helps in settlement of tax liability. Similarly, in case of shareholders, it helps in the optimum utilization of resources, which leads to capital appreciation. The shareholders, they want what? The increase in the wealth of the company, the wealth of the shareholders. Now, the next one, we come to advantages of cost audit. Cost audit offers advantages to management, cost accountant, shareholders, statutory auditors, consumers, and the government. So we'll be discussing this one by one. The first advantage is for the management. It helps the management first in determining the cost of products. Not only in determining, it also helps in allocating the cost of products. Second, it helps in increasing productivity and efficiency. We already discussed in case of the objectives that it helps to identify wastage, inconsistency, irregularity in production, and thereby when there is no wastage, automatically there will be efficiency, and if it finds any kind of irregularity, it takes the corrective measures. The third one, decision making. It serves as a basis for making important decisions such as continuing a particular product, whether to make or buy on input, whether to purchase a particular product or whether to purchase a particular inventory, whether to go to a certain vendor or not. So it's decision making. Cost audit plays a very important role in that. Cost audit also plays a very important role in the valuation of inventory. Auditor's duty is to verify the inventory valuation stated in financial statement by investigating the valuation method used by the client and ensuring that inventory are valued in accordance with the accounting standard 2 related to the valuation of inventories. So here we come to the advantages of management. Now we understand the advantages to cost accountant. Now what are the advantages to the cost accountant? We can understand the first one is reconciliation of cost and financial accounts. Here the task is facilitated since errors, deficiencies, etc. are pointed out. Costing plans can be prepared to take care of these things. Cost audit also gives advice to the management. If the cost auditor is an outsider and is an expert, he can certainly give some practical and sound advice to streamline costing systems and organization. Next, we come to advantages to the statutory auditor. It helps in various tasks of auditor. We can understand here, audited cost data helps him to determine the value of stocks, remuneration of managerial personnel, etc. with ease and accuracy. So it is actually helping the task of an auditor. Next, preparation of audit program. See, the data and statements of cost audit help him to prepare his audit program and plan so that he concentrates more on these aspects which have not been adequately covered by cost audit. Next, advantages to consumers. As it is very obvious, the most important advantage to consumers is reasonable price. The direct benefit accrues where a statutory cost audit has been done to fix a reasonable price for the consumers. Since cost audit aims at ensuring efficiency in the organization, this may also get reflected in reduced prices to the consumers. Now, advantages to the shareholders. The first advantage here is measuring the performance of management. There is correct valuation of all kinds of inventories. This may project a true picture of the organization before shareholders and other investors and help them to assess its performance. So here, performing or maintaining cost audit plays a very important role for the shareholders to assess and measure the performance of management. Next, optimum utilization of resources. External cost audit highlights efficiency or inefficiency. It also highlights whether the manpower is properly utilized or not, whether the resources are optimally utilized or not. What is the adequacy of return? So all these together make the shareholders understand how the resources are being utilized and thereby increasing the efficiency of the organization. Last but not the least, we'll be discussing about the advantages to the government and the economy. Reliable data. Cost audit provides reliable data to the government for deciding whether to offer any subsidy or extended tariff protection to a particular industry. Next, protecting the interest of the stakeholders. The government can intervene to protect the interest of the consumers, labor, shareholders, and investors from exploitation or inefficient managements. It also promotes cost consciousness. At the national level, cost audit promotes cost consciousness and overall efficiency. This means that every rupee invested produces the maximum quantity of goods and services. Here, I just want to mention that keeping in consideration various advantages associated with the cost audit, the Government of India inserted Section 233B in the Companies Act 1956 by the Companies Amendment Act 1965 to provide for statutory cost audit in case of specified companies. That means looking at these advantages, the cost audit has been made mandatory in terms of certain specified companies, and this has been mentioned in the Section 233B of Companies Act 1956. So now we'll be discussing about the provisions regarding cost audit under Companies Act 2013. The provisions of cost audit has been explained in section 148 of the Companies Act 2013. I'll be discussing the various provisions one by one. The first one is power of central government to conduct cost audit. Central government may direct to conduct cost audit in respect of companies engaged in the production of such goods or providing such services and have a net worth or turnover as may be prescribed. If a company is regulated by any special act, then central government will consult the regulatory body established under such special act. Next, we come to appointment of cost auditor. Cost auditor shall be appointed by the board of directors, whereas the remuneration of cost auditor shall be decided by the audit committee, or then if not by the audit committee, then it is decided by the board of directors, and it shall be ratified subsequently by the shareholders. We come to the third provision, who can be appointed as cost auditor. We come to the third point, the qualifications of the cost auditor. The qualification of the cost auditor is same as the statutory auditor under section 130. Now the next provision, who can be appointed as a cost auditor? Cost audit shall be done by a cost accountant in practice, that is a person having certificate of practice issued by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India or by a firm of cost accountants appointed as cost auditor. Last but not the least, we will be discussing about the difference between the financial audit and cost audit. I have discussed the various criteria or the basis for difference. The first one is the statutory status. Financial audit has been made compulsory for the limited companies by the Companies Act 2013. Mind it, financial audit is compulsory, but cost audit is not compulsory. It has only been mandatory for certain specified companies. Now, the next basis of difference is object. The main object of financial audit is to ascertain what a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company or working results of a business. As earlier I said, it generally finds out whether the financial statements have been prepared in a proper way, whether the balance sheet reveals the true uh, financial position and the profit and loss account reveals the true profitability of the business. Whereas on the other hand, what does the cost audit do? Cost audit generally ascertains whether the cost accounts also presents a true and fair view of the cost of production of products dealt with by the enterprise under audit. The third basis is regularity. Statutory audit is conducted every year, but cost audit is to be conducted only if central government makes an order for a particular year and for the company specified under such order. So we can understand the difference. That means financial audit is to be conducted every year, but cost audit under special circumstances. Relationship with transactions. Financial audit involves the collection and evaluation of evidence to substantiate the transactions recorded in the books of account. On the other hand, cost audit aims at determining the propriety and efficiency of business transactions. Verification of stock. Financial audit, an auditor ensures that the closing stock has been properly shown and valued for the purpose of balance sheet. Cost auditor, on the other hand, has to assess the adequacy or otherwise the level of the stock in accordance with the need of the enterprise. Sixth point of difference is the appointment of auditor. The financial auditor is appointed by the shareholders in general meeting. In some cases, however, he may be appointed by board of directors. And the controller or the auditor general of India in case of government companies. But the cost auditor is always appointed by whom? The board of directors. The cost auditor is always appointed by the board of directors. Last point of difference is the submission of report. Unlike financial audit, the report of the cost auditor is made to the board of directors and not to the shareholders of the company. A copy